What's going on, everybody? Before we start the show, I got a little something I want to address. A little over a month ago, as y'all know, I was a part of another group. um, Helped out this group a whole lot, took up a lot of my time, neglected a little bit of my group, actually, a whole lot of my group, to help said group. Helped this person out a lot, and just a little over a month ago, I was booted out of that group. I was an admin. I was booted out of that group. No reason. Next day, a post was made saying I attacked this person, that I attacked her person she was interviewing and their ways. Well, for people that know me, I don't attack nobody. I'm as humble as can be. I don't, promote attacking anybody or talking bad about anybody. That's just not who I am. But this person said I did that, which is a lie. I'll be honest with you, it's a lie. Didn't give me a chance to defend myself, just put the lie out there on the group in the public. Well, I'm going to say, first of all, if you're telling me you're interviewing a person and they say they know we're Bigfoot, they know we're Dogman, they know how COVID started, they know this, they know that, stating that it's facts and don't provide any proof, it is bullshit in layman's terms. So, with that, I'm just going to say don't believe everything you hear. Whatever y'all want to believe on me, that's your opinion and you're entitled to it. But with that, I'm going to stay as professional as can be. I'm going to start uh, putting everything into my group. I have got a whole lot of great admins. We're going to be looking for some more moderators. Miss Odessa Roberti was just promoted to an admin in the group. Congratulations. We sure could use you over here. Glad to have you. And with that, y'all, don't go away. We're fixing to start the show. We got some stuff coming up. We're going to look at some videos, break them down. Scott Pace is supposed to be here. He's got some interesting stuff to tell y'all. So don't go away, and we'll be right back in just a second.
I've been in your waters. I can for sure. I've never been so close before. It's one way or the other.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dark Woods. And like Odessa said, we're back. We got one of our admins. He was going to join in and chat a little bit with cryptids today. I think he's running late. I know he was at his dad's house earlier today and was doing something with chopping down a tree or chopping up a tree, something of the sort. So, as always, we will press on till he gets here. So, what I'm going to do is Gonna open up the chat, just an open Q&A. I got some stuff I want to go over, some stuff that's been talked about here recently, but I'm gonna open it up to y'all first. Bring in whatever y'all want to talk about, and we'll do a little open discussion on whatever it is y'all want to discuss. And we got, let's see who we got in the chat. Odessa, Steve. Scroll up here. We got a Facebook user. I don't know who that is, but they said, hello, Rick. Hello back. I don't know who you are, but welcome. If you do watch on the group, give StreamYard permission to use your Facebook name. That way we can see who you are. That'll give us better opportunity to properly address y'all, give y'all a little credit on the show if y'all bring up a question, anything of the sort. Facebook user, we'll go ahead and pop it up like this. Are werewolves real? That's a very good question. There are lots of accounts of dogmen, of werewolves uh, that are all around the United States, all around the world. Um, a lot of people say they've seen a werewolf. A lot of people say they've seen a dogman. Um, to get a better understanding between the two, um, there's some dogman enthusiasts out there. And I'm not going to say this gentleman's a dogman enthusiast. He's more Bigfoot, but he knows the difference. Hey, Kentuck, I see you now. There is a difference. Old Bear can tell you exactly what the difference is. A lot of people say the werewolves have the straight legs and human type feet. The dog men have more of the rear haunches, kind of like a dog, with the back feet being like a dog, but the front hands being like hands, an opposable thumb, fingers, able to grab. So there's some subtle differences. The one to talk to is Old Bear. He has seen both types. The ones I have seen, I have never seen the legs. They've always been in the brush. Chest, shoulder, head. That's about it. And the one I did see, I don't know if it's a dog man. I can only suspect. A month ago, I did do an interview on Texas Front Porch. If y'all want to see that interview, that was pretty badass. Go to Texas Front Porch on YouTube. Give them guys a like and subscribe. Those guys are pretty damn awesome. But I can do a share screen and show y'all the one or the creature that I got. And I do believe that this thing here is a dog man. So I will get y'all's opinion on this. Let me find it here. Let's go with this version here. All right. So if you look in this circle right here, this is what I got back in September. Steve Riley, how's your drone working out? Has to be a huge help. Hey, I got some drone footage of the property, Steve. I could play that for y'all here in just a minute, give you a little better understanding how that's working out. But this is what I caught back in September on my property. And here's the thing, y'all. I was doing video, okay? That day, I only had my iPhone. I wasn't planning on doing a full-out investigation. I just walked through the woods and boom. So I did three-minute videos. The first 3 minutes, of course, y'all heard the story. I caught 3 dog men, got pictures of them, still shots from the video within the first 3 minutes. The second 3 minutes didn't really get anything at all that was discernible. This come out to 33 minutes, and I'd never seen this with my eyes. The first 3 that I got on the first 3 minutes, I seen with my own eyes. This I never seen with my own eyes. It wasn't until I got home and reviewed the footage going quarter second frame at a time is when I seen what wasn't supposed to be there. And like Steve Riley says, yes, it's got pointed ears. Um, so when I showed this on Texas front porch, I did a share screen just like I'm doing with y'all. He was playing devil's advocate. He thinks that this is a squatch, and the only reason he thinks it's a squatch is because one, the mouth right here looks rounded. Doesn't look like a typical snout. But if you go up, there's a nose, there's an eye, and up here, what seems to be pointed ears. Now, what he was looking at is this was an ear, then part of a head and a snout coming down here. He thought that could have been a deer on a squatch's back. Um, it's a possibility. I really don't see it that way because if you watch the video and you watch the angle change, you don't see that big bulk mass across the back or, you know, any antlers. It could have been a doe, but you don't see anything else other than the shoulders and this head and then pointed ears. So to me, I think possibly it's a dog man, and just the pointed ears. The only thing that gets me is the mouth. The mouth is just, I don't know. And I sent this picture to Brian Bowden, Al Santariga's buddy, and he thinks it could possibly be a hybrid, which is also another possibility. I don't know. I haven't heard too much on hybrids. To me, I think it's a dog man for the simple fact, not 70 yards prior to this, there was three of them sitting there. So it's a possibility. Who knows what it is? I know the damn thing looks pretty damn evil. It was really quiet, and it did not hardly move. Another thing in the picture here is what I caught down here. Now, Tex, again, playing devil's advocate. He goes, you know, he could pass that off as a deer or, you know, maybe a coyote, coy wolf, or whatever. To me, in my opinion, I don't see that really happening. If that was a deer, why would it be sitting this close to this creature here? It would have shagged ass. My opinion, just my opinion. So, you know, but you got to play devil's advocate. To me, I think it's a juvenile, even though these little branches here in the way, you can kind of see what maybe looks like pointed ears. This could be the front shoulder, and these look like legs right here, almost like they're almost sitting cross, you know, like maybe how a dog lays down with their front paws crossed, kind of what it looks like to me. I'm not too sure. You can vaguely see what maybe looks like a snout, but once again, it's not too discernible, not as this one here up top. So, of course, playing devil's advocate, yeah, that could be passed off as something else. I'm not going to say it is a creature. I'm not going to say it's not a creature. So, who knows? Like Odessa said, almost looks like a new variant. It could be. It could be. There are hyena variants, you know, German Shepherd, Pit Bull, you know, lion heads. There's just different types of variants out there, or possibly a squatch. And yeah, see, that's what Odessa's saying. That's exactly what Tex said. It could be a squatch. I honestly don't know. I just know whatever that is right there isn't supposed to be there. And I caught it on video, and this is a still shot from the video. So let's see. Let's get this screen out of here. Go back to the comments. Facebook user. So maybe they're spiritual, and that's that's kind of a sore subject between a lot of people. Honestly, me, all the ones I've seen have been flesh and blood. What's up, Damien K? What I've seen have been flesh and blood. I've never seen nothing come through a portal or go out, so I can't really say um, that exists. I can't say that it don't exist. I just don't have the proof. So the possibility is there for them to be spiritual. Native Americans believe Bigfoot was spiritual. They believe they can do all these different things. If you talk to Scott Pace, once he gets on here, he does have good accounts of encounters he's had where they've actually spoken to him telepathically. So, you know, that possibility could exist, could not exist. I was 100% flesh and blood, but the weird stuff I've had happen and what I've heard with Scott Pace kind of moves me a little more to 90% to 10%. 90% flesh and blood, 10% uh, spiritual. What podcast did I go on? It's called TEX Front Porch. It's on there. It's the title is Monster Hunting 101. It was really, really good interview. We went almost 2 hours. It is on iHeartRadio and on Odyssey. So, but with Odyssey and iHeart, you only get the first hour. If you watch it on YouTube, you'll get the entire interview. And I tell my account when I was bluff charged at night. That was pretty scary. Had my kid with me. Uh, so yeah, go and check that out and give them guys some love. Jason McLean, he has his podcast. They all have it on their own platform. Jason McLean questions everything. Is very, very good. Text Front Porch. And there's another one with Jessica Jones. I can't remember the name. Hey, Janice. And she's got some really, really, really good stuff. She talked about the Dyatlov Pass incident, and she has some actual data from that. So yeah, it's worth a really, really good listen. Really, really good shows. I mean, I've seen all of them, and them guys are just great, man. They make you feel at home, and plus they're fellow Texans. So yeah, there you go. Get you in touch. He has an indigenous, and he may be able to help. Oh, he's an indigenous. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Um, Tom Cardos interviewed a lady last night, Robin McCrary, and I think she, correct me if I'm wrong, but she may be a psychic. And she had some really, really good stuff she talked about. I was thinking about getting in touch with her to see maybe she can catch a vibe to see of, what's maybe going on out there on my property, because I had some weird stuff. I actually had something weird happen yesterday. I have trail cameras on my property. Two of them that face my feeders at opposite ends at each other. And I actually caught a picture of what looked like the ground. Like my trail camera hit the ground for whatever reason, and I put that sucker up there with industrial strength zip ties. I mean, it survived the hurricane we had here last year, and that was 100+ mile an hour winds. So for it to hit the ground, either someone went and fiddled with it or something pulled it down. And I caught a weird looking picture yesterday of what looked like the ground. 2 hours prior, I had a picture of my feeder. Like the wind was blowing, it triggered it. I had a picture of the feeder. 2 hours later, it looks like what I caught was the ground. Well, this morning, the second camera went off. The second camera is facing in the direction of the first camera. And as I'm looking in that picture, I can see my first camera still up on the tree. So I don't know if limbs got in front of it, which shouldn't be a possibility because I keep the area clean around there. But it dead off looked like it was on the ground, like face down on the ground or on the side, and it took a picture of the ground. So yeah, that was really weird. And the second picture the picture that went off on the second camera today, I can see the camera sitting there on the tree. So I don't know what the hell. So I'll have to go out there sometime this week and do a function test on it, make sure it's functioning. But that was really, really weird. Really, really weird. Please tell Scott about her. I couldn't remember Robin's last name. It's McCrary. Robin Haynes McCrary. I think that's how you say it. I agree. Skinwalkers are out there too, and people can be fooled. That's exactly right. Skinwalkers are some nasty, nasty ass creatures. They do mimic. Um, you know, a lot of people have their opinions on what they are. Some think they're demonic entities, which could be a possibility. Others think they're a different form of cryptid. I don't have an opinion either way because I just don't know what they are. There's just so many encounters coming out from both ends of the spectrum. Some spiritual, some flesh and blood. There's an actual encounter of a Wendigo, which a lot of people say is a skinwalker, about 2.5 hours from me. And if y'all have seen Ghost Adventures, they did an investigation in Yorktown, Texas, at Yorktown Memorial Hospital, and near that hospital is where that encounter took place. And it was 3 people that actually saw the horns and everything. So yeah, so that's definitely creepy, creepy. Um, I haven't really heard of any other encounters in Texas with skinwalkers other than that place. I have heard though that Sam Houston National Forest is probably the hottest spot in the United States right now. Um, which there are a lot of dogmen and Bigfoot encounters are coming out of there. There's also a possible Gugway sighting out there, so I'm looking forward to going out there. I've been trying to get out there for months, but of course, with gas being so high and everything else going up, it's just making it harder and harder to get out there. But I'm gonna make it out there eventually. I plan on getting up up that way and a little closer up toward Dallas and doing some stuff up there, and hitting the Davy Crockett National Forest, the Big Thicket, if I can get out to go see Scott Pace at his property. And plan on doing an investigation out there, taking the drone, getting it up in the air. He has some really, really weird stuff going on out there. Lots of Bigfoot, lots of Dogman. We got a picture of what could be a possible cloaked Bigfoot. I don't know. I do have my opinions on the cloaking. A lot of people don't agree with it, but I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and you know, I let you have yours, let me have mine. You know what I mean? Text Scott real quick. Let him know we're on. I still want to walk your property. Yeah, it's definitely a different feeling out there, and a whole bunch of other places that I've been. From day one that I've stepped foot on that property, I've had shit happen to me day in and day out. Um, my last video I posted was a video I did out there, and it was supposed to be a live, but I actually did a live that day out in the woods, but the video was completely horrid. So I went out there and did a pre-recorded with my phone and went through all the same spots that I caught. Found an X-glyph on the ground next to the creek. Found a big bent over tree, bent all the way over to the ground, which was freaky. There was a lot of fresh broken trees, from 4, 5, 6 inch trees just snapped off, some at 4 foot high, some at 7, 8 foot high. And it just looked like a complete deadfall. And 3 weeks prior, I was out there. It didn't look like that. So something's been going out there and raising Cain. There's been some people that have bought some property a little bit down the ways from us, and they've been doing a lot of brush cleaning, and I think it's pissing these things off. So, yeah, definitely something going on out there. I went out there just the other day, and it was just oddly quiet. Didn't go too far back. Didn't cross the creek because, god dang, if I didn't come across about 4 or 5 snakes that day, and the 2 years we've been out there so far, until that day, I hadn't seen a snake one. De-escalating Texas. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, you're right, Janice. It's definitely something's going on. Everything's escalating. Um, I know Kentucky's starting to get real rampant again with these creatures coming out, being bold. I talked to Old Bear the other day and was listening to him talk yesterday, and they're having an influx of activity around where he lives, down the Appalachian Trail. I don't know if it's, you know, everything going on in the world causing these creatures to be so bold. Um, I have no clue. The activities kind of settled down on my property just a little bit the last couple of weeks. But yeah, it's definitely going on all around us. Like I said, Sam Houston, they're having a lot come out of there, and it's just wild, wild the accounts I'm seeing coming out of there from Bigfoot, Dogman. There was one account where a couple who lives near the Sam Houston National Forest seen a dogman grab their little, I guess, Chiweenie or poodle or whatever it was, grabbed it, took it off into the woods. They never seen it again. So yeah, they're definitely getting bold. Definitely getting bold. And with all that coming about, it raised up, and I don't know if y'all heard this, it raised up the whole subject of the land between the lakes thing again. And there's been a lot of people going back and forth with that guy, and that's just a whole cluster within itself. They just need to let that thing die, let that subject die, and just leave it alone. Because there's investigators that went out there and said that didn't happen. The guy saying he was there. There's no proof that he was there. So I don't know, man. I think it's just causing a little too much hostility and drama. They just need to let that go, honestly. Focus on something else. There's so much stuff going on around the United States and around the world where you ain't got to focus on that happened 30, 40 years ago. Just let that go. Definitely let that go, because all that's doing is people getting feelings hurt. People are getting mad at each other. It's just not worth it. Not worth it at all. Let's see. I've seen that thing actually starting to shape. That's why its legs are so messed up. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. You actually had a picture of one that I reviewed for you that was really good. So yes, I have had cattle killed out there. Yeah. So I think it was early last year before people started buying lots out there in 10-acre plots. Um, there's a spot that's going toward sofa plant, which kind of goes toward the front gate, but it's still back off towards the woods. There's a spot where I'm going to say it's a 30 by 60 yard stretch of, I'm going to say brush, but it's not brush. It has trees in it and stuff, but there is brush. And it's about 12 to 14 foot tall. And then there's about a 30-yard span between that and the main woods. Well, we were walking back there one day, me and my son, through the trails, and we came out to there and we seen two, what was probably about mid to larger size calves laying dead. One looked like it'd been there for a few weeks. The other one couldn't have been there more than 12 to 24 hours. It was still really fresh. The odd thing about it is, if you go back, they were laying on the same side. Both of them were laying on the right side. Both were facing the same way. And if you looked on the one that was fresh, you could see what looked like a quarter size, maybe 50-cent piece hole where the leg and the flank meet. And they were laying on the right side, so it was on the left side, and you can see a perfect hole there. And we went to check on the other carcass, and it was already decaying. And if you look back where the flank was, you could see what looked like a little bit smaller hole that was back there. So I don't know what did it. Could have been a native wildlife. There is a a cat back there that I caught on trail cam the other night, and it's supposed to be a native of South America. My uncle actually seen it at his house. Uh, they seen it in the daytime. It actually took his neighbor's dog, small dog, and ran off with it. And it kind of looks like a mountain lion, but smaller, but has the face of a weasel. And the name starts with a J. It's really weird pronunciation, but I'll have to look it up for y'all and check it out. It's actually a cool looking animal. I caught him on game cam the other night. Here in a little while, I can pull up the picture and show y'all. But yeah, definitely a weird looking creature or a weird looking animal. So, it could have been a cat. Um, Odd thing was, all the entrails were still inside. They weren't ate at all. It's just like something maybe went and killed them and just left them there, maybe for sport. I don't really know, but it was definitely odd that they were laying uh, 10 to 15 feet apart on the same side, facing the same way. So, yeah, definitely weird. Definitely weird. Janice got a comment here. I heard once that a body in Kentucky, that half was found in a cave and lower half in a wooded area. Some stated it had been separated after death, but all the upper half was in the cave. Interesting. You happen to know which caves they were, Janice? Was it the Mammoth Caves? That'd be really, and that's right up Steve Riley's alley, man, because he lives in Kentucky. I'm sure he can research that and find all kind of good stuff about it. But I know the Mammoth Caves are supposed to be about 25, 26 miles underground, and they've only explored, I think, maybe the first mile of them caves. They can't go any further. It's too dark. The air's real thick. You have to go back there with an SCBA, and by the time you get a mile deep, you got to come back and trade out your SCBA. So definitely weird. Same cave system that someone had been found in before. Yeah, I'm gonna have to research that. That's pretty interesting. So, if y'all haven't, check out Old Bear. Old Bear's doing a Bigfoot on YouTube. He put out a really good video yesterday, and I kind of have to agree with what he put out. He put out that there, with all the turmoil going on between people posting pictures, blob squatches, people saying they're interdimensional, of course. Um, Old Bear believes 100% that they are flesh and blood, and I agree to an extent. There's just a little bit that's going on in my neck of the woods that kind of leans me a little bit away from that, not much. But with everything going on, he talked about how everybody's showing these pictures, showing videos, all these accounts, and everybody having experiences really is not going to solve the turmoil that's going on in the community, all the hostility, all the people fighting, which is, complete nonsense. There's no reason for anybody to be fighting over this subject. Everybody has their own opinion. Let them have their opinion. Of course, flesh and blood, real easy to prove that flesh and blood exists. I just showed y'all a picture here. That's flesh and blood. Now these people that are saying they're having these other experiences with what we call the woo factor, Bigfoot going in and out of portals. I've seen a Bigfoot, disappear, turn into an orb, and then just, mosey on off. I'm not one to discredit anybody, but, if you are having some experiences like that, all I can say is the best thing is try and get us some proof. That way we can validate that, because that's the most important thing. If you're having experiences like that, where you're seeing unnatural phenomenon occur and there's a Bigfoot around, try to get that evidence, because that's going to validate what you're saying, what is going on, what happened with you. If you're just saying, all this, that, you've seen the orb, you've seen the Bigfoot. I actually heard an account where someone said a Bigfoot actually climbed into an alien aircraft. I mean, anything's possible. I'm not going to discredit it because I'm not like that. I'm open minded, but you know, try and get some proof, please. Try and get some proof. For one, that'll kind of take away the hostility between everybody. It's not going to completely do it. The only thing that will completely do it is a body. And once someone comes with a body, poof, all this is over. The mystery's gone. Uh, there will be no more of us talking about this stuff. So, and I highly suggest go watch Ode Bear's show from last night because he goes into all that. Oh yeah, Devil's Tombstone. Yeah, I heard you talk about that. Yeah, I heard that's a lot of paranormal stuff out there. So I'll take a super soaker and some holy water. I think I'll be good. Definitely, definitely if I make it up that way. And you see, there's Steve Riley, the old Kentuckian man. Kentucky is full of caves and old coal mines. And yeah, definitely. They are real heavy with a rock. What rock is that, Steve? I remember my old partner talking about that rock. And it had something to do uh, with these creatures being so heavy in one area where this rock would exist. Was it limestone? I think it's limestone. I think it's limestone. I don't, but I can get some. I can get some. Yeah, if I remember right, Steve, I think it's limestone. I think it's definitely limestone. Kentucky is really really heavy with all that rock and natural resources that are rock in nature. You know, Kentucky is really heavy with all that. I don't know where Scott's at, but I think we're going to get into some video breakdown. What do y'all say about that? Yeah, there it is. See, limestone. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And if y'all ever get a chance, research the Daniel Boone National Forest. That's definitely a weird ass place. I've seen a lot of video come out of there. There's some strange stuff in that place. Strange stuff. Let's see where. Add the stream. All right, y'all. We're gonna jump right into the first video, which is out of Texas, somewhere near the Fort Worth area. And the gentleman on this video, his name is Robert Lee Dodson. He's supposed to be like a renowned Bigfoot researcher. He did pass away in 2018. I've seen a few of his videos. He gets some really good stuff. I have two different views of this video. Um, this, the second video of the same video I'm going to show you is in a different spectrum to give you a better idea of what could possibly be out there. So we're going to go ahead and jump on this one. Um, I'm not going to show the whole 30 minutes. I'm going to show probably the first 5, 6, 7, or 8. So kick back, enjoy, and I'll see what y'all think after the video's over. Okay, y'all, what y'all think about that video? There's one thing that really caught my attention, and I'll see it. I'll let y'all go to the comments and see if y'all actually caught it. For one, it does scream Squatch. There was rocks thrown. Um, that I watched that entire video in its entirety, and he had, I think, pretty close to a dozen rocks thrown at him. About five or six came really, really, really close. Hey, we got Tom Cardos in the house. What up, broski? Glad you could be here, man. We're breaking down some videos. I know you like that stuff. But yeah, that guy definitely had rocks thrown at him. It really does scream Squatch. What gets me is the fluency in how that thing was ducking. Well, it was coming up and then ducking down real fast. It was just so damn graceful. I mean, I don't know. Kind of leads me to believe it could be something different. Um, I'm just not sure. Um, there was another video I seen of a sewer creature would look like a rake. And I know y'all have probably seen this out on YouTube, but some guy looks like they're in some sort of a sewer or tunnel, and this thing peeks from the side, had the same eyes like that thing had in the video. And then as it gets closer, it just whoosh, it just whips right back behind the corner, and then it just peeks out again. And it had the same fluency as the creature in this video. It was just, he'd come up and it's just gone. I mean, he's not gone, he's there, but I mean, he ducks down so graceful. It's just the fluency of the movement of that creature is just phenomenal. And it's I don't know. I have a gut feeling it could be something different, but it screams Squatch because of the rocks and because who the gentleman is. He was a Squatch researcher. So yeah, and I know Steve Raleigh caught that. Was that really bright thing an orb or a bug? It was actual. It was an actual bug. I slowed it down and looked at it. It was a bug. It caught my eye the first time I seen it. So yeah, definitely weird. Now I'm going to show y'all the same video, but it's going to be in a different spectrum of light. So watch this, and let's see what y'all think. So yeah, that was in a different spectrum of light. I actually did that on my Adobe Premiere. I was able to play with different spectrums that came out the best. Uh, Odessa put down seems a little too fast if that makes sense. And yeah, that's what I was saying. That thing just moves too damn graceful and fluid. Uh, Not to say that a Squatch don't, um, but it kind of looks like it doesn't have the width. I know it's hard to see, but you see the eye shine. The eye shine doesn't look real wide apart. Now, it could be a possible juvenile. I know juveniles love to throw rocks. They will throw rocks like a son of a gun. And the rocks that were thrown at him were smaller rocks. They weren't the huge softball or bigger type rocks that a typical Squatch would throw. So it's possible it could be a juvenile, but it just gets me how graceful that thing just zips down, zips back up, and doesn't really care if its head is seen. So yeah, and Steve Riley, I would love to know how big the brush and trees are. It's the same thing I said. I tried to see if throughout that video if he actually went there or had a second part to that video if he actually went out there and measured. He did say in the video, I think the brush was 6 or 7 foot, something of the sort. So yeah, the brush could have been very tall, but even then, if that brush was that tall, I don't, depending on the size of the juvenile, it's a possibility it could have been that far above. But uh, I don't know. I just don't know. Very, very weird video. I mean, he and y'all see when he started walking in, which he said he ran after it and he was trotting pretty quickly. And then he said he was about 30 to 40 yards from it when he got that close up. When he turned around and said, "Oh shit, it's behind me." He said he was pretty close to it. So that dude was legendary. Go check out his videos. There's just a couple of them on there, but man, he had some really, really good videos. Um, the next video is just, I think, luck of the draw. I don't know how this guy come upon this. It had to have been luck of the draw. But check this out, and I'll let you read the text on it because all these are courtesy MBTV. Man, he puts out some great content. I like breaking his videos down because he does a lot of enhancing and stabilization, which makes it a lot easier for me when I show his videos. All I got to do is just put them up and show them in different spectrums if I need to. So that makes it easier on me. Credit goes to him for all these videos. Dude is he's an innovator with what he's doing and how he's doing it. So check this one out. See what y'all think. Sorry, y'all. But with that picture there, the body seems pretty proportionate within itself. It doesn't have the big wide shoulders like most of the Bigfoots out there that a lot of them you see. Uh, like Old Bear told me of one he seen, it looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger on 10 times the steroids. Like it made him look like a child. So it was huge, very, very huge. The real broad chest, shoulders, the trapezius went up to the ears, just humongous. This one didn't have those features. It seemed real proportionate, almost like a human would be. So that kind of leads me to be a little skeptic about it. So I don't know what y'all's opinion are. I don't know. I just that one kind of has me leaning. It could be staged, um, and how he happened to find it on Google Earth is nobody's nobody's guess. I mean, either he knew it was there or he was looking for something and just oops found it. Maybe he was looking for a fishing spot and just come up across that. So who knows, man? People find stranger shit on Google Earth, and we know, there's been apparently pyramids found underwater or something like that. So yeah, definitely a weird one. Um, the next video is pretty good. And then there's a Dogman video I have on here. And I did do the Dogman video in an inversion, a video inversion, because the second, it's one video, but there's actually two videos within that one. And the second one, I think, is out of Brazil. And Tom would know which one it is because I know he's seen it before, and I think we've shown it before on the show. But I did a video inversion on it and exported it, and it come out pretty good. Um, I'm not real sure on that one, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it and when you hear it. Some of it does sound like maybe it's staged, or unless the guy himself is howling. I don't know, but it doesn't sound natural. Scott Pace is in the chat. He ought to be here on the live. I don't know what he doing. I sent you the link, Scott. Need to come on in and join. That way you can tell your accounts. You got some good stuff. But we're gonna show this next video. We'll give him a little time if he's gonna join in. This next one is 5 Bigfoot caught on camera. Check this one out. This one's really, really good one. Go back to here and bigger for y'all. Sorry that it's narrow. I think it's filmed with a phone, so kind of bear with me. But here you go. Check this one out. to me, whatever this one is, looks like it has a little girth behind it. So, so this one could possibly be a squash. It's definitely playing peekaboo. This one also looks like it has some girth behind it. I wish some of the people would go afterwards. I know the fear factor sets in, but if they could go and do like a side comparison, that would be awesome. But yeah, it's definitely a good one.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We're gonna finish up this video and we'll get right into your stuff.
Awesome.
What do you think about this one, Scott?
Yeah, I can definitely see something there.
Yeah, it looks pretty massive. I was telling
That's
everybody,
huge.
yeah, it has some girth behind it. The first couple we seen looked to be real small in nature, so could be hoaxed. But this one here definitely, yeah, the third one too looked definitely like it had some girth behind it. So we got Bama Bigfoot in the house, y'all. So we're going through this video. Uh, yeah, this one here, I'm gonna fast forward to the next one. This one really looked like it had a little bit of girth behind it. So, never mind. Here's the fifth one here. This picture looks similar to one that you sent me, Scott.
Yeah. So what are you seeing so far
There's
in this
definitely
video?
there's definitely something there. You can actually see an arm come out, like maybe it was either scooping something or maybe digging or moving something off the ground, and
Right.
the arm looked really long. It's kind of hard to say because it's not zoomed in. Well, there we go. But you'll see an arm that looks like it stretches out. Maybe.
A lot of things I look for in videos like this is are the arms longer,
Yeah.
than a human's arm, and that's kind of the way you can, get your evidence. It could be a Bigfoot then.
See, look how long that arm looks.
Right. Yep. Humans' arms are going to be they'll be short. Their hands might go to the waist, but
Yeah.
Bigfoot definitely their arms will go below their waist, and they'll be massive too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Even a young Bigfoot will have pretty good size arms and everything.
Oh yeah, definitely. They'll be I've heard of these uh grown Sasquatch 7, 8, 9 footers where the hand will be to the knee, if not a little bit lower. And that's exceptionally long. Of course, you're gonna carry off a 300-pound haul. You're gonna have some big arms, long arms.
Oh yeah. You're gonna have the muscle to pick all the to carry that up and put on your shoulder and carry it away. A deer the same way.
Definitely.
Yeah, you notice the person taking the video is not getting real close to it either.
No, it's not.
They're staying back, so that kind of gives you something there.
Mm-hmm. There it is, y'all. We got another one. We'll show it here for a while. We'll let Scott get into his stuff. I also got a little bit of drone footage that I'll show y'all. I got it up in the air the other day. I wasn't really looking for nothing. I was just trying to get used to how it flies. And I got that sucker about 350 foot up in the air. It was a little windy, so I couldn't go really any higher. But yeah, I got it up there pretty high. So Scott, what's up, buddy? What's your...
Man, doing good. I got a story for y'all, pretty fresh. This one here, it came to me yesterday. Just to happen within 5 minutes of my house. Now, this is we have swamp all around us down here in Louisiana. We're in between New Orleans and Baton Rouge, so we got a pretty good sized swamps here on the east side of the Mississippi River. Left side, going toward Lafayette, you got the Chapala Spillway, which is humongous. It's huge. It's really big.
Yeah,
but
we
this one little
on
swamp.
Google. We looked at that on
yeah,
Google.
you can look at it and see. I mean, it's thousands and thousands of acres. Okay, so we've got a little swamp by us around here to the west of us now, and it's just a little small swamp. And heard a story from a police officer. Not going to say any names or anything, but
Right.
I was actually at a place, and this other guy was talking to him back. I said, "Hey, this guy, believes in Bigfoot, and I have seen him and all that." So he said, "Go ahead and tell him your story." So he says he was on a patrol, and he was actually doing a a night patrol where he had to sit and watch this one area. He had a lot of equipment and stuff out there and make sure that there wasn't anything going on. But what they were doing was they was actually putting in a lock system that was over there and building up a levee. And they were there watching the road and everything to make sure, nobody was going back and they're messing with stuff and all that. And all of a sudden he looks up, and when he looked up, he seen this big, tall, really black, hairy man right in front of his patrol car. And he didn't know whether to get out, take his gun out and shoot at it or what it was, but the thing stopped and looked at him and just looked dead in his car at him. Now, you can imagine you've never seen a Bigfoot before or anything. He said this thing was every bit of 9 foot tall.
Good night.
And big and massive, too. And what's funny is this is not even 5 miles from my house.
Wow.
So this is right around the corner. So they're here and they're close. And he said that thing ran right. He said it was fast. He said he couldn't get over just how fast it was. He said it was there, and all of a sudden, it was just gone. And he said it was out of there. But he said it looked like he had dreadlocks on, obviously he had been in the mud and stuff like that. Was right. Keeping mosquitoes off of him and all that. But he said it was right in front of his patrol car. So I thought that was pretty interesting,
Mm-hmm.
And then I had lunch with a couple of guys a couple of weeks ago, and they were telling me stories. Same thing right here in our area. Another friend of mine lives about 10 minutes away. And so he told me he had went to Mississippi with another guy, and they were up there at the guy's camp and all that, and they had seen one, and they went up there, and there was one guy was cutting grass, and so he was cutting a lot of grass stuff with a little camping area where he was at and everything. But he said he was on his lawnmower going around, and he had a big hat on. He had some sunglasses on, and he said he seen one, and he was facing. He said it was starting to come around a tree like this, watching him cut grass. Then it got brave, and then it came around in front of the tree and actually sat down. And when he almost got finished cutting grass, he stopped and took his sunglasses off and looked at it. He said that thing tore off through the woods.
Huh.
But he said it was just sitting right there in front of the tree. I thought that was hilarious. Well, then the other guy, he came back from Mississippi and came back to, right in our neighborhood where we live at, right below Baton Rouge. And he said he's seen something peeking over the edge of his fence. He said it would do like this and go back down. And it would do like this and come back down. He said it was just sitting there looking at me. And he stopped and looked at it. Now they live kind of like by a little river that's over there too. Yeah. And it's called Bayou Man Shack. So that goes to show you right there.
So
Bayou Man Shack is right south of Baton Rouge, and in between East Baton Rouge Parish and Ascension Parish. And so he said, that thing was standing over there looking at him. So they're getting more and more sightings here,
Yeah, they're getting bold. They're really, really getting bold.
Really getting bold, Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting that we have quite a few things right here coming close to home now. People are getting braver. They're starting to come out and tell their stories and stuff like that. For a long time, people would come out in our area and even talk about this kind of stuff. They wouldn't say anything out because of ridicule and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, them Cajuns like to keep to themselves too,
They
man.
keep to themselves. They keep things quiet
Yeah,
and stuff, you know. And the police officer said, "Yeah, I went and talked to my superior and told him the story and all that." And he said he could tell by his gesture, that he was, his face and everything, that he was really telling the
Sh-
truth, and he was nervous
shook
about it.
up. Yeah, he was
He
shook
was
up.
shook up,
Yeah,
and so they didn't know what to make of it. Obviously, they haven't had that many reports in our area that police officers talking about that. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
yeah. See, that's an interesting comment by Doris here. They have nowhere to go, and you know what? In some
Yes.
areas, they really, really don't. They really don't. There's been sightings in the Dallas Metroplex area, dude. Dallas,
Wow.
Fort Worth, they in the city.
Wow.
So, and of course, you got Corsicana, which is south of Dallas. All them, Denton on the north side. So
Yep.
Dallas is really, really branching out. So when it's just like down here, Houston is man, it's coming down towards my house. And of course, there's woods all through there. So you're going to be pushing these creatures one way or the other. They're going to have nowhere to go but to the rural or metroplex areas. And it's really, really getting scary, dude, because I know I've heard a lot of Dallas encounters where these things are putting feet on concrete.
Yep. Well, another thing is, when you got all this building going on, when you start pushing them out, you got different clans out there. You got different
Mm-hmm.
families of them. Okay, they're going to start having wars and stuff with each other. They're going to start
Yeah,
fighting
they
with each
are.
other and all that. Because what it is one family is going into another family, or one clan is going against another clan. So you're going to see more stuff of that. You know,
Yeah.
and some friends of ours have told us they live on a river over here, another river that's right by that, the Amite River. And they told me, yeah, they've heard wood knocks in the woods right across the river from their house.
Yeah.
And that's
I,
that's not even, I don't know, maybe 7 miles from here. So more and
dang.
more stories are coming out right now about, what's going on. And like you say, there's a lot of building going on in our area. Is a whole lot of building going on. They're
Yeah.
getting more and more people coming in. And there's subdivisions taken up where it used to be woods. They've cleared all the woods. There used to be cow pastures. There used to be farmland. Well, the older community, they sell it off now. They don't farm it anymore. So you have still some cows and stuff out there, but not very many anymore. Now a lot of it's being sold. As
Mm-hmm.
the older grandparents stuff, they pass on. Then they pass it on to their kids. Well, the kids, a lot of them, they work in the industry and stuff, and so they're not really interested in selling it. I mean, I'm sorry, in raising cattle and stuff. So what
Yeah.
they do, they do just sell it now.
Yep. I had a young lady reach out to me, probably 30s, mid 30s, a month ago. And she sent me videos. I've been trying. She sent them on my messenger, and I can't get them to load off my messenger for whatever reason. I'm gonna keep working on that, and I'm gonna try and get her on here. So they have had activity. Her dad lives on the property. He's had activity there for 30 years. He is in very, very big denial about what's going on, but he's kind of doing like my dad does. He talks about it, but he's like, oh, well, there's nothing out here. Well, she went out there and she got pictures, she got video. And here's the funny thing. She told me before she sent me the video, the day before, they were having activity during the night around the house. Well, she
Wow.
got up the next morning, dude. She had an X glyph about 5 foot tall,
Come on.
no further than 30 feet from her house.
Wow.
No joke.
They've already marked their territory.
They marked it. And she was asking me, what should I do? Should I gift them? I said, no. I said, never,
I
never
wouldn't do
gift
that.
these things. No, don't gift them, because once you
No.
start gifting them, you have to continuously do it, because Bigfoot are the biggest throwers of temper tantrums there are. Once you stop feeding these things, man, they will flip your cars, bust down garages. They'll try to come in your home because, one, you took away an easy food source from them. So, yeah, they're going to get pissed off. And when they get pissed off, they throw temper tantrums. That's just no lie, man. I mean, I've heard them. I heard one account where this dude gifted these Bigfoot, and then he went out of town for 2 weeks, came back, and that night his had all kind of ruckus going on. They flipped his F-250 on the roof.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that is no lie. Like,
Wow.
dang. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I've always said just keep your distance with them. You know, I mean,
yeah,
let them live off the land like they should. You know, there's plenty of vegetation for them out there. They eat as plenty of nuts and berries and stuff like that. And also, if they're most of them are by rivers anywhere, creeks, they've got fish they can eat. You know,
yeah, most
and then
definitely.
wildlife. You know, I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah.
wildlife out there. Pigs. Y'all got a lot of pigs. We got a lot of pigs in Louisiana too now.
Yeah. No, definitely. Just like Texas does. And that's interesting what Doris just put. What about the dogman that was on the split in 35 West and 35 East? The accounts I heard in the Metroplex area were not Bigfoot. They were dogmen that were spotted putting feet on concrete.
Yep.
So they're kind of moving into the Metroplex area. There's more and more sightings coming out of Dallas, Fort Worth. There was a sighting a few years back in Houston inside the Beltway, inside Beltway 8.
Wow.
And it actually was put into the BFRO registry, whatever. And I mean,
Well, like you say, once
yeah,
they start, you know, you start going in and start going to their territory, they're going to be. Well, here's another thing: they may be populating too. Once they
oh
start
yeah,
repopulating, you
oh
know, they
yeah,
start breeding and stuff like that and having offspring. Well, then, you know, the offspring have to go somewhere.
yeah. And see, that leads me to believe, dude, with the Sam Houston being right in between, or a little closer to Houston, but in between Dallas and Houston, with all the accounts I'm hearing coming out of the Sam Houston, if they're not moving south, because I know Davy Crockett National Forest is a little southeast of that, over by Crockett, Texas, and I'm hearing accounts coming out of there, and that's a small national forest. And
Yep.
then I'm hearing an ass ton come out of the Sam Houston, Dogman, Bigfoot, and a possible Gugway that was sighted out there.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and I don't know, man. I want to get on out there, but it's going to be kind of hard for me to go by myself if there's a Gugway out there, because I'm definitely not going to put myself in that position. Because, of course,
Yeah,
yeah,
you got
out
to be
there,
careful.
because
Those are the
out,
meat eaters right there.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, that's all they eat. And out there, you can carry because it's also public hunting land. So,
Hmm.
of course, I'm going to go pretty heavy with that new 50 cal I got. But damn, dude, I mean, what
Yeah.
if there's more than one? What if there's more than one?
Yep. That's the thing of it is if there's a clan out there, you got to be careful. Really be careful. You know.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was the most recent thing I had was right here in my hometown of two accounts, and you know most of my stuff had happened in North Louisiana. I have had some things around my house recently that happened with footprints and stuff like that, and a couple of the hoots and stuff like that. But yeah, this is really hitting home now, and then people are coming forward and even talking about it.
yeah,
So that's the surprising thing is you know they're starting to talk more and more about it, and a couple of guys that I hang out with down here, they're in the loop with me, and so they keep me up to date. And this one guy, he even has on the back of his on his license plate, he has Bigfoot on there, which I think is
yeah.
hilarious. You know,
Hell yeah, that's freaking hilarious.
so
I seen a guy here where I live who had a big old Bigfoot sticker on his back glass. I'm like, I'm gonna have to go talk to that guy.
yeah, oh yeah,
I need to
get
know,
one on the back that says I believe.
right. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think that's what it said. It had a big old Bigfoot, and then it said, "I believe."
I believe. Oh yeah,
So,
seeing's believing. That's what I always say. Seeing is believing.
trying to log into my.
So you got some footage on your drone, right?
I do, I do.
That's
Um,
amazing. That's good.
I flew it out there the other day. And,
Well, that's awesome. So how low were you able to get? Like I'm talking right above the trees. Could you get right above the trees with it and feel safe with it? Where you
yeah.
could get
Oh
some.
yeah. Oh
So you
yeah.
could see pretty good down through there, right?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Matter of fact, let me pull it up and
Wow.
I'll let y'all take a peek at it. Where did I put it?
So if there was a dog man or a Bigfoot or a juvenile or anything, you should have been able to see it,
Huge,
right?
yeah, yeah. My whole
You know,
thing is
not
I got to get out there, and I got to once I get out there, I got to kind of be patient with it. Let's see, where do I got this footage at? I know I got it somewhere. Man, I get all these damn videos and I never remember where the hell I put them.
You know, what's amazing is that not until this past year, I guess a year and a half, that I didn't put together that a lot of them were in trees and stuff. I'd kind of heard that stuff, but you know, you wonder at night, do they sleep on the ground or do they sleep in trees and stuff like that? But yeah, some of them do sleep in trees. And during the daytime, I seen a count one time where this person was walking down a trail and they looked up in a tree and there was something big and fuzzy in a tree, which they thought was a bear, but all of a sudden it turned and looked at them where it wasn't a bear.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so
I've heard that
that's
too.
one thing is to you know, kind of keep remembering while you're there is when you fly over, you know, and you see something kind of bushy in there, you know, it very well could be something in the tree right there that not necessarily
Yeah,
always on the ground. And you know, everybody wants to go look on the ground, and you see all these people making videos. Well, a lot of them scan across the woods, but they never go up in the trees and start looking. You know,
they don't. They don't. And that
if
was
you
one of the
get a
first. That's the first thing I learned, dude. Because once I started doing that, I started getting a whole lot more evidence. Because of course, you seen that one that the one I caught the still shot, and then we seen it in the tree, something moving. Remember? And I just
right,
so
right,
happened to look up.
yep. And you know that's funny because they'll hide behind a tree like a squirrel will, but they'll stick their
Yep.
head around and look like this and watch you, and the whole rest of their body's on the other side. Then you walk past, they start creeping around and go around like a squirrel would. You know.
Yeah.
Anybody's been out
Yeah.
in the
They do.
woods and squirrel hunted before, you'll see them. The squirrel hang real close, tight to the trunk, or they get on the tree and hunker down, and you won't be able to see them. You know,
No, you won't.
so
You
I
won't.
tend to think that they do the same thing. That you know, if you're walking through the woods and you hear something kind of you know hanging onto the bark or something like a squirrel would, I'd start looking up and looking around. Most time you'll get a weird feeling or something like that. You just get a different feeling, a vibe in the woods. I mean, it might even go totally quiet, and then you start looking around because something is there close.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just have to pull it up.
So
Right.
that's one of the things that I do is if I'm walking out in the woods and I start looking around and stuff, I got to keep reminding myself look up in the trees. You know, you never know what's in there. And then the other thing is I'm always looking for tracks. I love to look for tracks. Try to
Yeah.
find some kind of evidence of something broken. You know, look for trees that are twisted, that are bent. Look for X's for sure. You know, but
I
the other
ran
thing is
across
look for little
that.
things. You know, like
I ran across that about a month ago when I went out there to do that live on the property, and the video didn't show up very
right,
well. That evening, I went out again, and my dad was with me, and we went. I walked through the same areas I went, and I sent it to Al Santoriga, or actually, he went through it on YouTube. I asked him if he'd go through it, and he was the one that showed me that man, you missed an X glyph on the ground, and it was an X glyph,
wow,
probably about 2 foot by 2 foot. The sticks were 2 foot by two
yeah,
foot, and it right there by
right,
the creek, laying on the ground. Just walked right by it,
amazing,
and then
yep.
I come across this big bent over tree, dude, and it was probably about a 4 inch tree, about yay big. And dude, it was just bent all the way over. The top of it was touching the ground. I showed my dad. I'm like, "Hey, look at this." I said, "Look at this big bent over tree." And he looked at it and he chuckles. He goes, "Man, that's effed up." That was his reaction. That's effed up. And and, and
You
again,
don't know
dude,
what to think when you see stuff like that.
you don't. He
Yeah, you
just
just
he
get blown
like,
away
man,
because you
that's
don't know what to think. You know,
yeah.
like wait a minute,
And he goes, "Man,
that's
I've
different.
heard
That's
weird.
very
I've
different.
I've I've heard weird stuff out here, but he's so much in denial that I know he's seen something out there. He just won't talk about it. So I don't know what he's seen,
Right.
but
Well, you know, a lot of times when you have things happen to you, it's really number one. Your eyes are. It's like are my eyes playing tricks on me, or you know? Is
yeah,
it something that's happening here? I mean, it's hard for you to comprehend these things and accept these things. And I've always said this: it's not what you believe; it's what you're willing to accept.
yeah, exactly. Here's that drone footage, man, and this was the other evening. I was just out bullshitting with it, flying, getting it up in the air. My dad's neighbor, or the neighbor 2 lots down, actually wanted me to come out there because he had 3 sheep get out from his property, and we were there that night when they got out and they ran across. I'm like, man, them things are gone, dude. I said, well, what's out here? They're not gonna come back. And he hadn't found them. He wanted me to put my he wanted me to put my drone up in the air and see if I could see them if they were across on the reservoir, but he didn't show up that day. So I'm like, I ain't gonna bother with it. And then I'm like, man, I'm out here. I'll just put it up in the evening. Maybe something will run across and ain't supposed to be there. So I'm gonna play it for everybody. And you can see, once I get it up in the air, you can see all the water that's around this place. It's definitely got a lot of damn water. And this thing moves fast, dude. You nail it all the way down, that sucker zooms, boy. And it's got a camera you can control the camera from the remote control. It'll tilt down, it'll zoom. It's got a night vision feature that I got to figure out. But yeah, I definitely got it up pretty high that day. And that's what butts up right back to my property. And if you look in the corner over here, there's water. That's just the flooded field. And when I turn to the left, you're going to see a lake that's bigger than this one here. And then right over here, where that's an airport hangar, and there's a little pump house right there. That's where the river runs through. Right back in the distance, you can see more water. And that used to be the reservoir for the old sulfur plant there. You used to be able to drive all the way around it, but now it's gated off. No one can get back in there. And that butts up right back to our fence line, dude. There's another lake back in here. That's the old sulfur plant right in here. And all these woods that go right around, and these woods are thick, dude. That's what runs back behind my property there, the very edge. And just nothing but water. There's actually, on this back corner over here, there's actually more water at the corner, another little pond. You see one here, and then that damn thing had a hard time turning in that wind. But there's that creek that runs through here. It branches off and it comes back through here. Then, of course, there's the school. There's my dad's shop there. And then nothing but woods back here, cemetery back in here. And then those are all the houses out where my dad lives. There's our pond. Some trees on there. And that's the little road that I actually sat on and seen a Bigfoot on thermal. What looked like a Bigfoot, but I wasn't able to record fast enough to get it. But I was on that road facing the woods. So there's definitely a lot of woods. There's some thick woods over here. So the back corner over here, there's been creature sighted. And over here, there's been a few creatures sighted. So definitely has weird stuff going on in that place. So yeah, I definitely got it up. I was impressed with it. It flew really, really good. It just, in that wind, it has a little bit of a hard time turning. But other than that, man, it'll be a useful tool, definitely, especially if we go out to your place and get it up in that thick stuff. Actually, what I want to do is go out there when there ain't no wind and sit right there on my tree stand, or my stand right there inside our fence, and just run that damn drone all the way into the woods and through it. That way they don't see me walking out there. They may hear the drone, but see if anything moves out of desperation. There you go. But yeah, that thing ought to work out pretty good, especially when I get out your way. It'll get up there. It'll go up 500 foot in the air. Brian Bulmer, I seen a video of some Bigfoot, some trees just yesterday. Your mic's muted. Your mic was muted, Scott. We lost Scott. Yeah, definitely, Doris. Never know for sure, but we can only hope. And like Old Bear said yesterday, for all of this to be proven, it's gonna take a body. Um, and someone said a while ago that it seems like he intends to bring a body in, and that's what he intends to do. It's not going to be that he's going to go kill it, but if he's charged or threatened, that he said he's going to bring one in. All right, we got you back now.
All right, yeah, I can hear you now. It seems I don't know if it's on my phone or what it is right here. My computer's being worked on right now.
I had an issue before like that too with when I interviewed Old Bear that he said my audio would cut in and out. It may have been what happened.
Right. Sometimes I think if you show pictures, it does that. When you come back, you may have to try to get us back in where we can. I could see you, but I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, that's a good question. Bama got Hawks ever mess with drone? I don't know. I bet I find out pretty quick.
Yeah, Hawks and Eagles, that's for sure. We even have a few Eagles down here in Louisiana.
Yeah, we got them Mexican eagles that are not as big as the common bald eagle, but they got a little bit of size. So, they get pretty big and they get pissed off pretty quick. I've noticed that.
Can you imagine this time of year when they have all the young and stuff like that? Hawks do that, Falcons do that. They may attack it. Maybe an eagle get too close to a nest or something. If you see a nest, kind of stay away from it.
Yeah, definitely. I know, and I don't know if you heard this. Old Bear was talking last night, and I jumped on his live to see. No. He was on YouTube.
And, I was on YouTube last night. I got.
Yeah, and he had some really good stuff. Hey, we got my mini-me out here, Dark Woods with a Z. What's up, buddy? But yeah, he was talking about all the hostility going on between the people who believe this, the people who believe that. Of course, we all know Old Bear's 100% flesh and blood.
Yep.
You got to have an open mind. I was telling everybody that earlier, just because someone says they have this experience, maybe with a Bigfoot going into a portal or coming out, we can't just say, it's not true, even though I know, and dang it, Old Barry's a good friend of mine. I love the guy to death. I think all his experiences have been flesh and blood. Now, people do have different experiences. So you can't think of the glass as half empty. Right. You got to think of it as half full. So, but my thing is, and what I was trying to encourage everybody, if you are having those kind of experiences where you do see that, try and get evidence to validate it, because flesh and blood is a lot easier to prove than the phenomenon that's happening on the other end of the spectrum. So that's going to be a lot harder to prove. Of course, people who get spoken to telepathically like yourself, of course, your mind doesn't have a record button and a playback. But me knowing you and knowing who you are, I'm going to take your word for it. If it happened, it happened, because I know you like that. So it's you can't be one way or the other. You got to keep an open mind in this field. And that's where I think everybody's either leaning one way or the other. There's no in between. And everybody needs to come together and not fight, because there's too much ridicule going on from both ends of the spectrum. It's mainly coming from one end, but the other side is ridiculing them. And of course, I'm going to listen to whoever speaks, But if you are having those experiences, try and get that evidence to validate it, because that would help the community tremendously, tremendously. And when someone
Well,
comes with the
I can
proof,
tell you
if they
this, you
do,
know, the more you go out there and the more you get involved, your approach to these things is everything. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Depends on how you approach them, do. If you try to pick them, they're not attention to all that. You know, it's kind of like if I come up in here and start mocking you, you know, you start making fun of you and stuff like that, because you may get a clan or a group of them that don't like that. So you're not going to
Yeah,
get a good reaction from them. Main thing is go in
mm-mm.
there. If you want to communicate with them, just go out there and walk and talk to them, you know, and just say, hey, I know you here. I know you here. Introduce to them. I'm not here to hurt your family. You know, if I'm crossing the boundaries, let me know. You know, I want us to live peacefully together. And that's what I've done in my area. Okay. And that's how it all started for me. Now, in a few years that I've been doing it, I've made strides. I made some huge strides. Okay. To the point to where, yes, they come in my house. Yes, they've been outside my house. Yes, we've got orbs inside the house now. Yes, we've got a wet inside the house. My wife actually took those pictures. I didn't even get those pictures. So there's things happen to
Wow.
me and my wife. Learn to accept it, you know, and she has told them to stay away, don't bother her, because it got to where it was kind of anonymous. You know, it was starting to get to where they hid my wallet, getting ready to go to work. They hid my keys and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And people say, "Oh, that stuff doesn't happen." I'm here to tell you, I'll put my hand on the Bible and tell you, yes, it does. Okay, to the I can show you myself what they did to it. I was sitting there filming my property in North Louisiana and trying to video it, and something ran in front of my cell phone, and it's phone, it's iPhone 8, okay? And ever since it ran in front of me, it zapped my phone on when it ran across. I've even got a picture of that. So there's my evidence, okay? And then now my phone shakes. But you see me now, I've got the phone facing toward me. It don't do it this way.
Which is
How do
this
you, yeah,
picture,
there it is
this
right
picture
there.
here. And that was off a video, y'all. And he sent that to me, and that's it's just odd how that is, because if you look right in here, it's blurred, like just, but you look right outside the blur and the picture is just crystal clear. Now and it does look like something's in motion, judging by that blur. Now, is that shimmer? I don't know. I don't know. Scott would be able to tell us best. He was there that experienced it. But that is definitely something that ain't supposed to be there. I can tell you that. I think Scott froze up on us. Yep, he froze up on it. We'll get him back. But yeah, everybody, you just, keep an open mind. Don't ridicule nobody. Yeah, got you back.
Okay, here we go again. So
Yeah,
this has happened before.
yeah. That
I don't
happened
know
to
how
you
to
on
explain
another
this
show.
stuff. It did happen to me then too. Okay, so this happened multiple times, and all I can do is laugh at it. That's it. So, I mean, have you had these problems before, Rick?
No, I haven't at all. Have not.
I don't know what to tell you. I really
Yeah,
don't.
I think that might be on your end, buddy. That might
So
be on your end.
this is a little strange. Things happen like this. It keeps cutting out, coming back in, and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know how to explain that kind of stuff. But anyways, I have to go back to the link, sign back in, and come back in again. You know. So I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, I mean, I've had experiences where I walked in my property. I've got a couple of creeks down the hill on my property. When I walked down to the creeks down there, I could feel something, just didn't settle right. It was kind of eerie feeling, but I felt like,
Mhm.
There's not just one thing watching me, multiple things watching me.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
began to take pictures in there. And then all of a sudden, when you go back and you look at the picture, you say, oh my God, there's something right there. Well, there's a face right there. But what you're going to see is not like I'm looking at me and you, but what you'll see is silhouettes. And the way I
Right.
started finding about these things, I had to go to other people and they had to teach me how to look for it. Okay. So I wasn't an expert at first. One of the things that I had to do was contact other people and say, hey, man, show me, would you please show me how to look for these things? Well, the first thing you look for is eyes. Look
Right.
for two eyes in there. Okay. Look, and it depends on what it is. It could be some weird stuff in there. Okay. And then the next thing, if you think it's a dog, man, you look for pointy ears or you look for a cone shaped head. But what if you just seeing this on the side of a tree or something like that, But you look for all those things. All right. And some people call it pareidolia. But the thing of it is you can't fake this kind of stuff, you know?
Right.
You can't fake it. Now, there are some apps on your phone where you can actually see a face and zoom it out. And I know people that do that, you know, and so they've actually done that for me before and sent the pictures to me and said, look at this. So that's what I've had to do all this time, you know. And as far as everything else, I've had them bluff charge. I had one bluff charge me before. During the wintertime, I had a beard. You know, this is where it gets a little creepy here. But I had something come in the middle of the night and stroke my beard like this.
Greg,
I was like,
yes.
oh, I woke up and I was like, what in the world was that? You know,
Greg Yo's had that happen to him. He said they'll come in his house and they'll start stroking his hair. Like, just like, hey, buddy, you know, you're laying there, you know.
It's strange.
Yeah.
You know, it really is strange, but it's what you're willing to open yourself up to. Okay. You know, I told the story before, but, you know, but right the weekend before I had my sighting, it was muzzle loading season. And I'd shot a doe. So I went to go retrieve my doe, and all of a sudden I see the doe upright and like take off. Now the doe's dead. I know I shot that deer and it was gone. I watched it die. Okay. I went to go retrieve it, and all of a sudden I see a dead deer get up and haul tail. The thing was, it was cloaking. You know, people say they don't believe in all this stuff. Well, you know, maybe it doesn't happen to everybody. Here's the thing is, don't get jealous of me because I didn't ask for all this stuff to happen to me, you know. I didn't ask for this gift that I can see stuff with. I didn't, you know, these are things that I had to learn. The other thing is with the cloaking thing is that they do that. You know, to run by and pick up a deer and take off with it. That's incredible. That's remarkable.
Yeah,
I had my cousin this past Thanksgiving. I had my cousin tell me in front of everybody, I lost a deer. I said, yeah. So I shot it, went to go get it. It was gone. I was like, well, there you go.
Yeah, well, just like that one I had happen to me. Remember during archery season, I shot that doe in the evening time, the first day of archery, and she took off I had a lighted knock on the end of my arrow, and when she went through the brush, it snapped the arrow. Of course, the lighted end fell on the ground, so I had to go old school with her and track her by the blood. And of course, it's already getting dark, dude. So I had to go back to my truck, grab my rifle, because of course it's archery season, and I'm not going in the woods with a goddamn bow. I'm gonna go in there with my rifle. And
I wouldn't do that.
I tracked it for an hour. It took me an hour to go about 100 yards, dude, because of course I'm there with a spotlight trying to find the blood.
Right.
And I tracked it to where, and I'm going to show y'all, I tracked it to where, let me get it right up here, where I took this picture right here, where I got this video. It's a still shot from the video. I tracked it all the way right in front of, and this is across the creek. I tracked it on the other side of the creek, on my side of the creek. And the only thing I found, I tracked the blood to a big round disturbed spot and a big puddle of blood. And it may have been a liver shot because the blood was real dark, had a few little bubbles in it, may have been a lung shot. And then, but nothing. And I stayed 30 minutes after that trying to track this thing, and there was no disturbance past that. Like, gone.
Yeah.
And I remember you telling me, did you look up? And I'm like, hell no, I didn't. And that's always a good habit of mine to look up. And so, that didn't click to me that I tracked it to this area until I talked to, I did that interview on Texas Front Porch, and it didn't click that I tracked the doe to here. And this picture was taken a week and a half prior to archery season. And so that picture there, I did an invert on it yesterday because, you know, when I did the interview at Tex, he goes, I think it's a Bigfoot with a deer on its back. I'm like, that's a possibility. So I did an invert just to appease myself. I don't think there's no deer on that thing's back, dude.
So can you go up just a little bit on the picture where the dark shadow is above that? Keep going up. Okay. To me, go down just a little bit. If you go down just a little bit, right above where your blue ring, it looks like two legs right there, two black legs. And if you go up.
Oh, right in here.
Well, yeah. Okay. I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing right now is I see two legs there. You go back up. It possibly could be a Bigfoot behind that holding your deer. Could be.
I don't know. Well, this was prior to me shooting that deer. This was a week
Okay,
and a
so
half
it
earlier.
could be something else back there. But if you go back up a little bit, Rick, go right above that. It looks like two legs right there. And if you go, it looks like it's holding something. It could be something else or something. See the white thing's kind of wiggly to its
Yeah.
right there, and then you got something to the left. This is I'm just talking out. Okay, so what I'm saying. It looks like something with two legs there. And then if you look to the on the side of that tree that's going up, looks like something peeking around right there to me.
It could be. It could be, but
There's looks like something there. Then
look at
you
that.
got another circle right there. Yeah, that looks like some kind of face right there looking at you. And you
Looks
can
like a
tell the two
nose, an
eyes.
eye, and an eye, and
Yeah,
maybe an
yeah.
ear right there. That was the one that was in the tree moving.
Wow, that could be a dog man right there.
It
They
could
climb
be.
trees and they got claws just like a raccoon or a squirrel or something. Just bigger.
But
And I've heard stories when they're jumping from tree to tree.
But these
I
two
have
right
heard
here,
that.
these two here stick out the most. And this, playing devil's advocate, it could be something of a natural animal to the habitat, but why would it be sitting there in front of this, knowing that it's there? Unless it's sitting there, it didn't know it was there, and this thing is stalking it.
Well, let me see the bottom circle that you got there.
Yeah,
Does that possibly look like an X right there?
it does, but it's and I looked at that and going through the footage as you move, it's about that far apart. They're not.
Okay, so it's
right
not.
up-
It's not. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not a glyph. It's not
I
a
got
glyph.
you.
But this damn thing here, I think it's a dog man, but the only thing that gets me is the rounded mouth.
Okay, from this circle right here, look directly to the right. You're gonna see a couple of trees right there, and you'll see a V. Go straight across, and you're gonna see a V, and it looks like a dark spot. You got your little pointer, and
Right.
you go straight across, and then you look above it where the two trees split right there. It looks like a face to me. I'm trying to look at it, but it looks like a face to me right there. Another one's dark. Yeah, it's right in more to the right of the frame is where it's at.
Over here.
Yeah, if you come straight across right there, you'll come across. It looks like a face there. Where those trees are. It's looking in between the trees right there. The two not on the left hand side, but on the right hand side. She's got a white looking tree that's to the right, and then you go over. It's more of gray. It looks like a face in between there, a dark face to me.
Oh, right here.
Not a white one, but now it's toward the top now.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah. Does it look like
Yeah.
an eye mouth right there? Like an eye, mouth, or something like that, and a head
Yeah.
right there?
Yeah. Well, if you look right here, I mean, it could be something, but if it is, it should be lighting up like this. It should be a real light color, kind of like
Well,
these are.
yeah. Sometimes,
But I mean,
don't know,
it's not to discount. It's not to discount it because I mean, people see different things, and I just know that this thing was there. It was there. I seen it in the video and
Wow.
seen it in the picture. So I did an inversion of that just to tickle my fancy because I just that kept running through my mind how he said it's a Bigfoot with a deer on its back. So I inverted it just to see, and it don't look to me like there's no deer on that thing's back.
Right. I
So-
got you. Yep, it would be a pig on the back, Can't ever tell.
Can the cloak their kills? Also, I don't know that, Doris. That's a good question. I really
Read the
don't know.
question. It's too small. I can't read it. What is it?
She says if they are cloaking, can they cloak their kills also? That I
That's
don't
a
know.
great question.
That is.
I can tell
It
you
really
this is that the one that ran off with my deer did not cloak the deer. But who's to say they can't do it?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Really, really good question.
So I haven't seen them do that yet, but I haven't seen that yet. I did see them pick my deer and take off with them, and they were cloaked, 100% cloaked. Like I said, I'll put my hand on the Bible and say the story over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, look what Steve Riley put. I can hear Greg in his deep voice say, "Hello, friend." Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That's old Greg Yost, man. That guy there,
He's got some
he
great pictures too.
he does. He's
Great
got a
pictures.
great picture of a dog, man, that he wasn't intending on getting, but he definitely got it, and it circulated pretty well. So
Wow.
definitely,
I think the one with a
matter of fact, MBTV had it on one of his little
really.
videos. Yeah, he did.
Yep.
So I don't know if he sent it to him, but he definitely got it.
I seen the
But
one with him and a juvenile that was behind him, and he caught the picture of him, and he was following him through the woods and all that. So
yeah,
that was really interesting.
yeah, it was, and he's just Greg is just getting back into it. I know he had put a message out in his group that he was going to be away for a month or two. He apparently got really sick, and then he started posting in his group again. So he's back. So
Wow, that's
uh,
good. I
you
thank
need
God for that.
you need to talk with Wes from Sasquatch Chronicles. I've seen that guy's videos too. He does some really good videos.
Yep.
That guy really has some good stuff. Really good stuff. And matter of fact, I was going to reach out to that guy last year. I think last year, and something had came up, and I poof slipped my mind. So yeah, that's whoever the Facebook user is. I don't know who it is, but definitely, yeah, I might reach out to that guy. There's a few people I do want to reach out to and talk to them, especially now that I'm back after the whole shit that happened a month ago. I decided to take it easy for a month and just chillax, but I addressed that issue, stay professional about it, and we're going to press on no matter what nobody says. We're going to keep an open mind here in the group. Of course, if y'all don't know, Scott Pace is an admin in my group. We share stuff back and forth all the time. We keep it professional. We don't ridicule nobody. We're going to listen to everybody, no matter if you have something that happens with the woo or if it's flesh and blood. We're going to listen to it. We just ask that, if you do have something in either spectrum on either end, just, try and get some evidence, man. Try and provide that proof, because we like people to validate their stuff, and we don't want you to be seen as, he's just talking and there's no validity to it. I would rather have y'all come with that proof. That way they can't say, well, he's talking out his ass. He's like, no, this guy's got the proof. He definitely got something. And that's why we never have no issues out my group, unlike others who argue all the time. Everybody here is so laid back, and we don't just let anybody in the group. We screen it, and the people that we got that show up in the group are just great people. They post pictures, and we look them over, and we're not going to sugarcoat it and say, oh yeah, that's something, when it ain't. We're going to go, there may be something there. It's, not defined, but you know what? You're on the right track. Keep doing what you're doing. You're going to run into that one picture that's going to put you out there. So,
Another thing, Rick,
everybody,
is say somebody just wants to tell your story, but you don't want to be seen. You can also go to Messenger and drop us your story. Tell us your story there,
mhm,
and we can say, look, this person really doesn't want to come forward. They just want to tell the story. I was there at one time, afraid of ridicule and stuff like that, which it doesn't. People know my character and my integrity now. They know my stories are real, and the more and more
yeah,
people come out with these stories, believe me, there are going to be a lot more stories come out. But if you feel comfortable just sharing your picture, that's fine. And you want to do it on Messenger, that's a great way to come forward. Another thing is just put your story on Messenger for us, and we'll bring the story out. We don't even have to say your name or
yeah,
where it came from or anything. You just say, look, I just want to stay anonymous, please. I just want to be anonymous. And, but I understand, because sometimes it could be family members ridiculing you. It could be, people at work or somewhere else. And so,
yeah,
we want you to come forward with your story, and please tell us your story, because everybody wants to have their experience to tell about. And sometimes people need a platform like this to come forward, because don't hold it inside and let it eat you up inside.
no,
I've talked to people before. I know of a family that's in North Louisiana right now, and they won't come forward with their story, but they will tell me stuff on Messenger that goes on, and I talk to them, and do my best to talk to them and make them feel at ease. So,
yeah. And like Scott said, if you want to come on and not have your face seen, we can do it just like this, to where
Yep.
we can hear your voice, but you won't be seen. So, we encourage it. We encourage everybody to get out in the field, and if you're having activity, we encourage you to get on out there. Now, don't put yourself in any danger that you think you might not be able to get out of. Of course, myself and Scott, we're avid hunters. We go in the woods all the time. I'm in the woods on a weekly basis, and that's where I'm I'd rather be in the woods than walking around in a mall somewhere. I just feel more comfortable that way. But we encourage
I'm the same
everybody
way,
to,
Rick.
yeah, yeah, most definitely. With because these creatures are not the most dangerous species out there. Humans are, and that's a proven fact. Humans are what's hurting this planet. Humans is the most dangerous species. So, don't think these creatures are the most evil things on earth. Don't get me wrong. You don't want to run across a Gugway or a Janoskwa, because you are on the dinner plate if you do that. The chances of you getting
Right.
out of that situation is less than 10%. But, stay at a safe distance. Audio, video, there's cameras out there that can zoom quite a ways. There's, audio equipment, even your phone, man. Your phone's a great, great tool. I've done a lot with my phone and it's come out very great. So, we encourage everybody to do it. Get on that right track. If you got activity going on, get it out. Let's try and figure out, if you got something out there, what it is. It's just like that young lady that reached out to me. She wanted to know what it is. When she reached out to me, she had lots and lots and lots of questions. And, she was asking about gifting. I told her that's not really the best idea. I told her how to go out into the woods, do video, not pictures. And she come across some good stuff. So, if I can educate everybody out here to help them achieve what they want to in the woods, and that's what I'm going to do. Even though I'm not no expert, there's no experts. I'm still learning. I talk to various people to learn. I take what is useful, I reject what is useless, and use that to my advantage. And it has worked out. Yeah, I mean, you've seen the picture. I got tons more, but that's for another show. I'll bring those back out for the new people that come on. Show y'all some of the stuff I've got, and it's just on 10-acre plot, an easy 10-acre plot. You've seen it in the video, just a little bit of woods, and there's activity out there, Jack. I tell you.
Yeah, we got a lot of activity here in Louisiana too, and it's picking up. And so, I really believe that with all the construction, everything is going on, the more land that they lose, that they have a place to stay. Every time you turn around here in Louisiana, I see another patch of woods that's being cleared.
Mm-hmm.
More pads are being made. They bring more clay, more dirt, making pads. Next thing you know, that's their habitat or their home that's being destroyed. And so, that's something there right there that's going on, that every time more of their land and territory is being taken away from them, well, they got to find another place to go. So there's going to be more evidence that comes up.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, definitely. Like Steve Riley just said, look at how many cameras are in the cities now. Yeah,
Wow,
and
yes.
and you know what? They're avoiding those too.
Yeah. But most of them know which way they're pointing and stuff like that, and they'll get around them, or they can cloak and go by it anyway. So, sometimes you'll catch one messing up, and they'll get camera, get a picture or something like that.
Yeah.
Another thing is, police cars, and I tell you something, cameras just like a police car. How many people now are starting to put video cameras in their actual cars?
Yeah. Yeah. My father-in-law has one, and
Yep.
it'll record. What is it, like 30 seconds prior? I don't know how it's triggered, but he said it'll start the video 30 seconds before you push record. And I know
Wow.
dash cams on police cars do that.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely. And they're cheap. They're like 30,
Yeah.
40 bucks, 30,
Right.
40 bucks. And the GoPros are starting to come down now that these 4K cameras are out. I got a GoPro Hero 3 for like 80 bucks. So are coming
Wow, that
down.
is cheap.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
cheap.
cheap. That's
That's
more
cheap.
affordable right there, you know.
Yep. Yep.
Another thing I
4K.
thought about this, Rick, is that people that take their families out to hikes, strap you a GoPro on, put one on the front, put one on your backpack on the back when you're walking through the woods,
Yep.
and just carry on. Like you're not even looking at the woods. You kind of gaze around and look a little bit, but then, just walk through and just be yourself. When you walk through the
Yep.
woods, and you never know, you go back and look at the video you got there, you might catch something on it.
Yeah. And when I talked to Scott Carpenter, I got the same thing he got. It's the harness that sits on your shoulder that holds a
Right.
GoPro. Face it
Yes.
behind you, and he was the one that told me
Wow.
that you face it behind you, you're more likely to get movement or see something with it facing behind you because they know you're not looking at it. So I
That's
haven't
awesome.
I
That's
haven't
a
gotten
great
out
thing.
there and yeah, I haven't gotten out there and done that yet. But I mean, I've had luck facing forward. A lot of times I just walk forward and hold the camera to my side, and yeah, I catch good stuff. So
So talk to us about that for a minute. Is it like a gyroscope? Because I don't have one either. Is it like a gyroscope?
yeah, it's almost like a gyroscope. So it's how you got them GoPro harnesses that them if you watch some guys on YouTube who fish, they'll strap it to their chest and the GoPro's held
Sure.
right here on the chest. This one
Right.
has like a plastic piece that fits your shoulder, and then it
Correct.
has the little notches to put your GoPro in, and then
Okay.
you tighten it down, and you can face that sucker like at an angle, straight behind you, up, down. The only
That's
thing is
incredible.
though, if you walk a long ways, it will get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
I need to now that the woods are thick, I need to take it out there and go use it.
So where can
They
you pick those
say
up at, Rick?
Amazon.
Amazon.
They're
There you
like
go.
$29, $30.
Wow. That's
They're cheap.
incredible. There you go.
They say they hear or sense the infrared signals. That's why it's hard to catch them on trail cams. Yes, they can see the infrared light or the IR
Right.
light, what they call it. So yeah, they're hard to catch on trail cameras. I caught one, and the only reason I know that it was a creature is because I had my trail camera 7 foot up, and what I caught was hair on the side, and it was facing the camera. So
Wow.
whatever, and
That's
that was
amazing.
and I caught the same picture, but one had about that much hair, and then the other one had about that much hair on 2 different nights. So it went up there twice. It knew what it was doing. So
It was looking at it, it's checking it out.
it
You're
was
lucky
checking it
that they
out.
didn't go up there and fool with it. Most of them go up there and try to cut it off or do something with it.
See, and that's what I had. Like when I told you this morning that I thought my trail camera hit the ground yesterday. Well, my second trail camera that's facing right at that one went off earlier this morning, probably about 9 o'clock, and I could see the trail camera on the tree still. So it never hit the
Wow.
ground. So I don't know what it caught in front of it. I don't know what I'm gonna do or how I'm gonna figure that out. But it looked like it hit the ground. It really looked like it hit
Yeah.
the ground.
You're going to have to get
So
your SD card out of it and check it out.
well, it sent the picture to my phone,
Oh,
and
it
that's
did?
why. both those
That's
cameras
awesome,
do, and
man.
that's why I was looking at it, and then I was like, man, it hit the ground. What the hell? Either if the tree fell, then I'm screwed because that's the base for my fence, and I got to go redo it. But I seen the picture this morning, and it was still up. It's still on the tree, plain as day, still on the tree. So I'm like, what in the hell is going on? So, and you know what? That trail camera hadn't triggered, so I don't know if it got zapped or what. So
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
knows?
That's pretty amazing.
Yep, I'll see tonight if it goes off. If it does, then it may have been a glitch. I don't know.
Another thing is walking through the woods, look on the ground and look for stick structures, glyphs on the ground. I've got a few of those pictures, those things. And I didn't know about those things. As somebody started talking about that, I said, well, this is really weird because it's just not natural the way the actual sticks are laid. And then if you look at it, some of them are shaped like Y's, some are shaped like A's. You got some look like an E there, some looks like a W, and you'll have them maybe make a word right there. It almost looks like a word, but it's only like 6 sticks laying there, but you can tell it's not normal.
Yeah,
They say that it's an old what they call that from the Celtic. Is that right? Celtic.
Celtic. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's part of the Celtic language is what it is. And so I wonder if that's what they're doing, is they're trying to communicate with us, and sometimes that's the way they do that, you know?
Yeah. I asked Old Bear about that a few weeks ago. I told him, hey, found a glyph on the ground. It was an X. Give him the dimensions. He goes, was it laying flat or sticking in the ground? I said, it was laying flat. He goes, that was a juvenile. Grown Squatch was teaching it how to make a glyph, and that's how they do it, is
Wow.
they lay it on the ground. He
That's
goes, now,
incredible.
now, he goes, now, if it's sticking into the ground with the roots high, then that
Yeah,
was an adult. It's an adult Squatch, and it's marking.
it's marking
So,
it. That's
yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty neat. You know, is they actually teach the young on the ground, and then they can come back and another thing is bows. You know, we talked about bow trees.
Yeah,
You see,
got
they
them
take them,
too.
they turn them, they twist them, and they bow them over like that. A lot of
So,
people say that's from.
so you see this
Yeah, go ahead.
comment right here, Scott? Susan Hollis made it. A jaguarundi. So that cat I caught on trail camera that I told you was a mountain lion, it's not a mountain lion. It's a jaguarundi. And the
Wow, I've
only
never even
reason,
heard of a jag.
my,
What is a
but
jaguarundi? I've never even heard
it,
of that.
it's a cat that's native to South America, and it has the body of a mountain lion cat, but it's smaller. The face kind of looks like almost like a damn weasel. And
Really?
then these things are mean. My uncle seen one in broad daylight, and it
That's
took
amazing.
it took his neighbor's little dog, Chihuahua or whatever it was,
Yeah.
snatched up, took it, ran off with it. He
Oh
never seen
no.
it again. And then he said he seen it again out at night by his place. Well, the other night when I was out there, the day I flew that drone, my dad and I were out there. We were out there till 4 in the morning, dude. We were riding around on the side by side shooting armadillos with the 22.
Good times.
And yeah, we were sitting by the fire pit, and the trail camera went off. And when it went off, I shined the Q beam out there, and you can see the eyes. I'm like, what in the
Wow.
hell is that? And I look, and he goes, man, it looks like a cat. And I'm like, look at the long tail. And he was like, yeah. I said, that might be a mountain lion, dude. It could be. When my uncle seen it, he goes, that's a jaguarundi. He goes, that's what we
That's
seen at my house. That took,
amazing.
yeah, dude. Yeah. And I got it plain
Yeah,
as
I've never even
day.
heard of that before. So are those I guess you say what well, you talked about the lambs and stuff that went missing. I wonder if that has something to do with the missing lambs or the
It
sheep.
could, the sheep got out of the fence because the guy had a three wire barbed wire fence. They
Yes.
shot they shot under it because some kids were out there playing and chasing them. They shot under it and they went across. Well, they haven't
Oh
been seen
no. I thought
since.
maybe the cat had got after him or something like that.
Well, I'm pretty sure it did after they got loose.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's amazing. I've never even heard of that cat before. That's really
I'm
amazing.
I'm I'm fixing to pull it up right here and show y'all a pic. And Susan, thank you, because I was trying to think of it throughout this
Yeah,
whole
thank you,
show.
Susan. That's amazing.
I knew it started with the J, but I couldn't figure out the name for nothing. And
Check that out. That's amazing, y'all.
yeah, that's exactly what it looked like.
I'll be. And them things came all the way up from South America.
That's what they say, that they're native of South America. Now, how they got here, I don't know, but it was definitely here. And
Huh.
yeah, they're
I'm wondering how they got across the Panama Canal.
that's a
Look
good
at that.
question. Yeah,
Look at that. That is neat.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, I can honestly say I've never seen a cat like that before.
yeah. Well, I tell you what, man. It if I see it out there, I'm gonna have to lay it down because, I mean, we got cows and dogs and
That's what I was kind of
everything else
wondering.
out there.
Are they legal to hunt and stuff? Are they on an endangered
Well,
species or what?
well, if they came from South America, they're probably an invasive species.
Huh.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's amazing. I've never even seen a cat like that. That is amazing.
Well, they're here. I'm pretty sure they're in Louisiana too. You might see one.
They got to cross. Well, to get to our side, they got to cross the Mississippi River. That's a mile swim. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe on
who
the west
knows?
side over there, Lake Charles and that area
Yeah,
over there. You know, they didn't have to get across the Chapel Spillway to get over here to us. That's a lot of water.
yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
Well,
we
well,
we got other things like panthers and stuff in the woods over here. People talk about black panthers. Yeah, we've got them. They're here.
oh yeah.
Big huge hogs. We got those big huge wild hogs now. They're all over the place. Yep.
Well, we're well over 2 hours. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, especially you, Scott.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you
Man,
for
it's
having me
always
on.
good to talk to you. Always good to have you on. You always got good stuff, and
Thank y'all.
we're definitely gonna do it again with you and have you on and co-host and stuff. But everybody, go check out the YouTube channel. There's a few people asking about it. It's Darkwoods. Um, Go check it out. I got lots of good interviews on there, videos. Give it a whirl. Go check out the Facebook page, Darkwoods Cryptid Project. Also check out the sister page, Texas Cryptid Project, for the Texas peeps. Uh, Everybody that's admin and moderators on there is admin and moderators on there, so you can always reach out to one or the other and get somebody. So check it out. We're going to call it a night, and thank everybody for coming in on our comeback show after about a month. Sorry, y'all. I just had some stuff to deal with that just wasn't too nice. And with all that bullshit that went on, that's what I say about it. So, everybody, good night. We're going to do another show here, probably another week or two. And I'm going to reach out to some people. But stay tuned, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Scott, I'll get with you right after this, buddy.
Yep. Talk to
All
y'all
right,
later.
y'all.
Thank you for
Good night, y'all.
having me again. All right. Good night.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.